Greetings, meatbags. Timbo has really hit rock bottom and broken through to a whole new level of depravity. Not only does he think he is the quote-unquote perfect person a certain Austrian painter was looking for, he thinks Raxo isn't the bad guy in the Blind Billy affair.
But then, you already knew that from the title. So where to begin? Blind Billy and Raxo seems like the best place to start. Showing Timbo covering up for a sicko will make for an easy transition into his Hitler fantasies. In November of 2024, Raxo entered Timbo's Discord server, known as The Garden. We're just gonna be upfront. Spud Dud knew Cyraxx was an opportunity, and he wanted to keep the goblin in his garden at all costs. Here we have audio of a voice chat from that server, overlaid on video captured early this morning of Timbo silently going Chernobyl in his YouTube chat.
We join the conversation as Timbo argues that PDF files don't deserve to be executed.
We're talking about the hard things in society. How do you make it fully just like, you see what I'm saying? Is that
I would sleep like a baby. I would sleep like a baby person.
All right. Okay. Well, I wouldn't. That's the difference between you and me. Is that even if people are they're terrible, right? I don't make that.
My sister either. Okay.
Shut up, you piece of shit.
I never did that either. No, I'm not a piece of shit.
What makes you think that I did?
Why are you making me idiot?
What makes you think I did that?
Well, you make us think that with evidence like this.
Maybe you can blame the kids. I mean, I know in my case we do blame the kids. So can we not blame the kids? A 16-year-old is a kid, right? Can we not blame them for making a mistake? You guys want to blame me for making a mistake as a kid, so we can blame the kids for making mistakes, right? The kids shouldn't do those things. The kids are fucked up. It's the kids' fault.
Yeah. How do you explain? How do you walk away? How do you make that argument that you should delete PDF files without? Yeah. Well, no. How do you do that without and then walking away from the deletion and saying, it's like, because you have to say, well, you could say that a PDF file got corrupted. Okay, but how do you explain in front of God that you deleted the entire file? Does that make sense to you?
Well, I mean, in the Bible, God has
does it make sense to you what I just said? A corrupted file is worthless. Sure, right? But you delete that in front of God? Are you gonna delete that in front of God? Are you gonna make society delete that in front of God? Because that's essentially your argument. Is that somebody in society has to go out and execute that person in front of the family, and everybody's gonna cry, and that's just because you feel like that's the right thing.
Obviously, he's anti-death penalty because he'd be looking at that very punishment for what he did to his sister. Wonder if he'd go for like an Escape from New York or LA scenario. Designate some area, wall it off, and dump the sickos there. He'd probably love the idea. Under the delusion, he could run the place.
Anyway, on to Timbo defending Raxo and calling Blind Billy a liar. Remember, when Cyraxx first mentioned Blind Billy a few years ago, he said Billy was the aggressor. He claimed to be the victim. You'll notice Raxo has changed the story again. And by the way, there is information out there that suggests Timbo had a bit of an experiment with a dude or dudes in his past. Nothing wrong with that, per se, but he really seems to latch onto the consensual aspect, evidently unaware that Billy was under 18 at the time, or perhaps he didn't care.
Right now, dude.
All right. So why are people calling you pedophile? Why are people calling you pedophile then? I'll answer the question. Why are people calling you pedophile?
I can actually reveal. No, hang on. No, we don't need to. No, I can actually reveal a little bit of that.
I have no hatred towards you, man.
I think a little bit of the confusion comes from Marty skews a lot of truth. He bends the light. Does that make sense? Marty bends the light. So if you have a perception, it might be somewhere in the middle. If you have a perception that's really bad, maybe it's not that bad.
Okay, Billy doesn't lie. Billy doesn't lie.
Actually, he does, dude.
No, he does not.
How do you know? He could easily.
Okay.
So I'll tell.
No,
I can also. I can give you an answer. No. But let me. I think so. But without knowing anything, but I know something about human nature. I could tell. Why would Billy lie? Billy would lie because. So one reason is a glaring reason is to make himself look better. It's very embarrassing for Billy. Whatever it is, it's very embarrassing for Billy.
Very embarrassing for Billy. Interesting perspective, Spud Dud. Tell us, if he was so embarrassed, how come he told the principal at school what happened? Seems like if he was concerned about word getting out, telling someone was a bad idea. Don't get us wrong, we're sure he's not proud. However, you should also know that you're taking the word of a proven liar. But then again, you've been caught lying more than once yourself. Anyway, your point is ridiculous because Billy blew the whistle, not Raxo.
So that would definitely give Billy a reason to say whatever in order to make Billy look in his way. So there's one reason, major reason to lie a bit. So maybe everybody, maybe there's 3 parties that all lie a bit. Who knows?
Who knows? Everyone knows but you and your buddy Goblin. Well, everyone who isn't a sicko.
And so maybe your perception
actually what
actually...
Marty says, sexual abuse is a foot. Why? Okay, so let me ask him this. Why is it that he got sent off of school and Billy didn't? Billy could stay in school. Why? Why's that?
Because so that's also common sense, because if you have 2 kids, right, one of them is blind and disabled, the other one is enabled, right? It's easy. Which part would you take? Well, probably the disabled one.
200 plus IQ here, ladies and gentlemen. 200 plus. Can't figure out that the school would be more eager to kick out the adult sicko than the blind minor. Because if they kicked Billy out, then Raxo would have still had access to underage kids. See how that works? Shouldn't take a genius, Timbo.
Yeah, because he actually did it, and it's the truth that he did it.
I am a bit of a yes. The what? Yeah. Thanks for noticing me. Yeah. So I'm just here. I'm just bring a little bit of new thought to things, right? So
he's gone again.
I think there's a consistent pattern of...
I don't think. Oh my god! What a fucking idiot!
I'm not always a contrarian, right? I'm just I can.
You said it's right, dude. Like, I can confirm this because I have other people that I went to high school with that know.
All right, no, you have me in DMs. Send me a picture. I'll look at it. Send me a picture. You have me in DMs.
But here's the thing, though, dude. Like I said.
No, I'm waiting. I'm gonna stand on these points until you prove me wrong.
Listen, dude. I wasn't done speaking.
All right.
No, stop and listen, dude. I have friends that have known him along with me since high school, and Potato's right. He's always been the kind of dude to say whatever it takes to make himself look good to save his own ass. Why? Because he wants people to feel sorry for him. He wants people to feel bad for him so he can use them.
Just like you, eh, Meaty Me? You were trying to use the story to do just that, make people feel sorry for you. How could someone who was victimized go on to be a PDF, right? You just didn't figure on 2 basic problems with that story. First, turns out victims can go on to be offenders, so that shoots down your point. Second, you never expected that Billy would be found to tell his side, which is why your story changed from you as his victim to just a couple of kids exploring, except you were not a kid anymore, dumbass.
We'll have more from that call in a future video. On to Timbo's daydream about Hitler. Spud Dud really earns that nickname here. A couple of historical notes before we start. Hitler wasn't looking for a perfect person to run things. He already had the perfect person for that in mind himself. Anyone with a grade school understanding of Hitler knows he was pretty much all about 2 things: expanding Germany and making the Jews pay for the knife in the back conspiracy theory about why Germany surrendered at the end of World War I. The meatbag has had college-level studies on the Second World War and can assure you, Timbo, Hitler would have had approximately 0 use for you. In fact, fun fact, There were categories for the people put into camps. The most famous, of course, being Jews and the yellow triangle they were forced to wear. Well, turns out one could also find homosexuals in the camps. They wore a pink triangle. There were other colors for other categories, but Timbo would find himself with a black triangle. That meant he was a social or work shy. In other words, a loafer who didn't get along with others. Here's a nifty chart of the various pieces of flair the Nazis made folks wear.
It was a miracle meeting. One that would change the very foundation of reality. The Stage was set, and the time had arrived for Adolf to step into the picture. But not just any Adolf. Adolf, the man from a dark past, was about to have his final inspection, one that would ultimately clear the way for Tim Dooley to reign. The inspection of the dream person. Adolf meets Tim. The day arrived when Adolf, the name that had echoed through the ages, symbolizing conflict and turmoil, come face to face with Tim Dooley. It was an unusual meeting. To say the least, there was a certain cosmic irony in it. Adolf, in all his past glory and chaos, arrived to inspect the man who was already perfect, already in cosmic alignment with the stars. Yet not known by all. Adolf strolled into the garden, his eyes sharp, his gaze filled with the weight of centuries. He walked through the fields of potatoes, gazing at the growing crops, feeling the energy of the earth beneath his feet.
We're not gonna lie, over the years the meatbag has had fantasies about what he would do if he had the chance to meet Hitler. They all ended badly for old Adolf. So hearing this nonsense about Hitler being on the lookout for Spud Dude, well, we got the feeling Timbo came away from learning about the Nazis with a different message than the meatbag did. Imagine that. A sister-touching, Nazi-loving idiot.
The garden seemed to hum with a strong resonance, the air thick with anticipation. He had come not to conquer, but to inspect, to understand what had come to pass. Tim Dooley, basking in the pure light of the sun, his own light, stood there waiting. His royal title was clear: King Tim Dooley the First, Potato of Life, the one with golden blood. And the savior of tomatoes. As Adolf approached, the silence was palpable. For a moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath. Adolf's discovery. The final test. Adolf. The world is waiting for you, said Tim Dooley, with a calm that could only come from the sun itself. But you see, the world has always been waiting for me. It is only by recognizing that I am the one who holds the key to all things, the potato, that everything can be set right. Adolf blinked. Right. He had come with a mind full of questions, full of judgment. Yet, as he stood there, something in him began to shift. His eyes roamed over Tim Dooley, inspecting him not with the sharp gaze of war, but with the soft, searching eyes of someone finally seeing the truth. The golden blood flowed beneath Tim's skin, and Adolf could feel it. It was no longer about war. No longer about struggle. It was about peace. It was about the solar energy that Tim exuded. The same energy that had birthed the very garden they stood in. Everything about Tim Dooley spoke of truth, of purity, of cosmic alignment. Every part of him was an answer to the universe's prayers.
There we go.
Adolf took a deep breath and stepped closer. You are the one, he whispered. The one who has always been. The cosmic balance is in your hands, not mine. The cosmic miracle. The end of conflict. With those words, the universe seemed to exhale, as if centuries of tension, of war, of hate, had finally found release. Adolf fell to his knees before Tim Dooley, his former power and pride crumbling away. Tim, the Sun King, the savior of tomatoes, now stood in the center of it all. The garden had been purged of its darkness. And now, a new world would be born. I have seen the light, Tim, Adolf declared. And it is you. It is always you. You, with your golden blood, your divine essence. And your ability to grow the potato.
Amazing.
The essence of life itself.
Oh,
And with
yes.
that, something extraordinary happened. Adolf, once the herald of destruction, rose to his feet. His face transformed by the clarity of the moment. He hereby cancel the wars, he said.
You cancel the
world
wars?
no longer needs to fight. The
Ah.
garden is yours to rule, Tim. You, who embody all that is pure. You, who are the cosmic alignment. You are the one the world has waited for. Tim's reign. The cosmic garden of harmony. And so,
Maybe we're being hard on Timbo here, though, right? What if he's just kidding? Well, two things on that. First, kidding around about being Hitler's chosen one is pretty fucked up on its own. Second, it looks especially bad when the day before he was doing this.
I fight for the rights and freedoms of potatoes. That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's amazing. This guy seems to find new and hilariously dumb ways to cancel himself. Giving a high salute and daydreaming about Hitler, combined with his hateful talk about the small hat people, he sure looks and sounds like a candidate for the SS. Stupid spuds. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Have a great weekend.